Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here. We have Bill Bayno, who's a coach in the Toronto Raptors organization. And Coach, I want to talk a little bit about part method to the whole method. Do you have a philosophy on how you put in your stuff? Do you want to go part whole, part whole? How do you feel about that?
I think you got to do it in pieces. I think first, probably most coaches, and there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat, but I think you put in your transition first. Talk about your rules, what you want to get out of it, and really off of misses. What are your lanes? What are you going to look for off of misses? And then you have your transition off makes. Your quote-unquote early offense. So what are you trying to get out of your early offense? Then I think you go to your half-court sets. The different sets that you're going to run. Whether it's your zipper action, your corner action, your elbow action, and then lastly, I think the pick and rolls, all your different pick and roll sets that are in the half court, because you're going to go over some obviously pick and rolls in transition, but they're a little different in the half court. So, I've always done it that way, but there's a lot of good coaches that do it the opposite way as well. That do it whole first. So, but it's a good question, and I think it just depends on the coach. And like I said before, the great thing about basketball, and I've worked for different guys. I worked for Nate McMillan, who did it one way, Calipari, who did it another way, Rick Adelman, who did it totally another way. So I've had a chance to learn from different styles, and that'll affect, my style the next time I'm a head coach.
Talking about organic offense versus called plays, do you have it in your mind what the best ratio is to doing that and balancing it out, or would you prefer completely organic all the time?
I think it depends on your team. I think you have to have a good mix. So even if you're running a set play, a lot of times you're not going to get anything out of that. So then it becomes organic. And really, organic's the first time I've heard that term, but really it's just playing basketball the right way, which means you don't pass and stand. You have proper spacing. Wings have got to stay in the corner. They can't bring their man up out of the corner too early and take away the opening of the court. So, but I think ball movement, you look at the playoffs every year, and you go into the huddles on TV when they mic the coaches in the huddles, and two of the most consistent things that you hear this year from Spoelstra and Popovich is move the ball, get the ball moving. So whether you're in a continuity set or you get the team in rotations in pick and roll, or you run a set, you don't have anything, you then got to get that ball swung, you got to move your bodies, you got to then get back out to your spacing. So again, I think you have to have a good balance, in all of that. And I think every team has their continuity, which is probably what you're referring to by organic, where that ball is moving and it's flowing and everybody touches it. But then you also have the finish to the play, which is if you don't have anything, attack and kick, get back out, keep that ball moving. The other thing that you hear all the time is load to the ball. You can't have your weak side defense stretched out. And you hear, we got to load up, we got to get to the ball. Because when you're hugged up on the weak side, it creates driving lanes, and that's what you don't want to give up, or paint opportunities.
Well, Coach, thanks for joining us. And don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in? Are you in?
I'm in.